Dabo Swinney said he won't be leaving Clemson for LSU, but should he?
Yeah, so Dabo Swinney was, and even when he was with Clemson, when he did take this head coach, was an assistant before he took the head coaching job at Clemson. So it feels like this should be his Death Valley and his only Death Valley. If I'm LSU, though, here's my question. Like, we see Clemson this year, not very good, haven't scored more than, 19 points, I believe. And we know he can recruit. We know he can make the program that we thought Clemson was one of those teams that would always Clemson, right? They'd turn into a verb and like they wouldn't be able to finish the deal. He turned them into one of the top tier programs. They're in the, the semifinals every year. Do you think that a guy like that benefits from changing locations? I don't. Like, I think he needs to stay there, needs to sort of be what I wish Steve Spurrier would have done and never left Florida. I'm a Gator, if you haven't noticed. And so I don't think he should go. I think this is the place for him to be. I don't think he goes to LSU and has any sort of ability to not be good, right? If he has a type of season that he's having right now in his first two at LSU, there's going to be question marks all over the place. Right now, he's developed so much cachet and built up so much there at Clemson. Like, I don't see him leaving to LSU. It almost feels lateral. Not quite, but almost.
Well, I have a saying, don't leave a good party in search of a great party. What he has going in Clemson is so good. Maybe not this year, but he is the face of that school. He is the face of this turnaround. He's the face of this success. Why try to leave and go somewhere else? And if I'm LSU, perhaps when Urban Meyer's done grinding out the season with the Jaguars, he might just fall into LSU's lap, So he might be available, and maybe I would hold out for something like that to happen.
That's what I feel like Urban Meyer should be at LSU. And then also when you think about like LSU and Louisiana, that just doesn't go well with like Dabo Swinney and his aesthetic. Like Dabo is like a hardcore, very vocal, outspoken Christian man. And a lot of his players honestly fall into that same category. Like when you think about Trevor Lawrence, like that was his whole thing. Like football isn't my everything. Like I have my faith first. And like that's Dabo's thing. He's in the Bible Belt. And I feel like Clemson just fits Dabo's aesthetic. It'd be so weird for him to go to Louisiana and take on this whole, like, take his aesthetic to, Louisiana. Like, that's just not the same vibe. I feel like Dabo in South Carolina, he is a South Carolina, Clemson, South Carolina through and through. Like, he just bleeds orange, and it just makes sense for him to be there. It would not make any sense for him to go to Louisiana.
It would be a money thing. Like, it seems like, if you listen to Dabo, it seems like he's pretty happy. Obviously, won championships, what have you. Not a very big buyout there, so it would be easy for him. But I don't think it's something he would want. You guys got me, though, on this Urban Meyer thing. Like, I can't get my mind off it. Like, he's almost going to run like the reverse Nick Saban, where he comes to the NFL for a year and then goes to LSU versus, Nick Saban went from LSU to the NFL to Alabama. Like, that one to me, if Urban leaves to go to LSU, like, can you believe anything? I can't believe I just changed the subject here, a little bit of a tangent. You can't believe anything that comes out of that man's mouth if he decides to go to LSU now. I think his whole family would just be like, you know what? We're going to take a pass too.
If you want to go down a really fun rabbit hole, just read some of the reports on what Ed Orgeron has been up to in his last days at LSU, and it is a wild ride. Go, Joe.
We had Larry Coker down here in Miami, who was sort of, everybody thought of him as the babysitter to the program after, and he won a championship or whatever, and it was just like, wow, and he lasted a few more years. Ed Orgeron isn't even lasting but a couple of years after winning a championship. Like, that is unheard of.
Sad.
Having fun, though.
Weird.
Izzy, did you actually believe what Urban Meyer said before this scandal?
I mean, that's a great point. So I was a writer at the Miami Herald when he was the head coach at my alma mater at Florida. He was winning championships. I couldn't stand the dude. Like, I could not. There was a terrible vibe I got from him. I was just like, man, I would be much happier if these championships were coming with Steve Spurrier as the coach. But, everybody falls for Urban stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Urban would be fun in Louisiana. I also feel like Lane Kiffin would be another fun person to just throw at LSU because of the person that Lane Kiffin is. Like, I feel like after Ed Orgeron was there, after he's been there, he had such a huge personality and just like this whole like bigger than life thing. It's like, okay, are we trying to win championships? In my mind, I would rather just like have fun and just like throw another fun person at LSU and like see what can happen down there. Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's another good move. Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.